report for November 13th of 2024. And we've got the moon in Aries, some good fire, right? Going to be trining Mars in Leo, this another fire sign. So we got a little fire going on here today. And she's going to conjunct Chiron today, and then square Pluto before she goes into Taurus tomorrow. And then the fun begins. No, this moon is building through Aries, through Taurus, to what? The full moon is on Friday at the 24th degree of Taurus, conjunct Uranus. So it's not just an ordinary full moon, a normal full moon, a regular full moon, a super full moon. It's a crazy-making full moon. Intense, extreme, surprises, possibly traumatic, but also liberating. Oh, I'm going to talk about it more, but that is exact. The sun is moving through Scorpio. Okay, moon moving through Taurus. And Uranus, of course, moving through Taurus. The sun is going to continue on. So Saturday, the sun exactly opposes Uranus. But you can just say it's kind of all week, that we can just expect the unexpected. And then that moon moves on by Saturday, goes into Gemini. And squares Saturn up there in Pisces. That Saturn stationing, going direct, very powerful. I'm going to read the Sabian symbol, okay, for that 13th degree of Pisces. Very big. This is very big. Things are going to start to go forward. Saturn's been retrograde for, 4 or 5 months now. And yeah, I think we are ready to come out and get going. And really, Saturn came along to 12 degrees 42 minutes late March. So if you began things, okay, from March until June, where he stationed retrograde at 1925 Pisces. So if you got anything between 12 and 19, okay, of Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, or Sag, you've been getting, restricted, blocked, hindered, challenged, it's been heavy. It's been heavy. And now it's gone retrograde, the second pass, from June back on down, okay, to, well, now stationing direct. It got back to that same degree of 12 degrees. And 13 degrees. So, and then it's going to go direct, and it's going to go back over. It's going to finish up, complete, resolve. You're going to get results between now and February 17th, where it gets back to that 19th degree and then starts, going forward into some fresh new territory. I don't know if I need to explain that some more when I look at the screen, but I thought I'd throw it out here at the beginning with the aspects. Yeah? I mean, there's just so much going on because I got to talk about Mercury. Mercury is going through Sagittarius. And, it's opposing Jupiter in Gemini exactly on next Monday. But I gotta say, it's gonna go up a little farther, then it's gonna go retrograde, it's gonna come back and hit Jupiter again, and then it's gonna go direct and hit it again. So, we've got 2 months of Mercury in Sagittarius. I wanna talk about that because it's opposite Jupiter in Gemini. Very, very interesting dynamic happening with that. So there's just so much to talk about. And of course, on top of it all, or should I say under it all, Pluto finally moves out of Capricorn permanently for the next 240 years or so, at least. thank goodness, for me anyway. It's moving into Aquarius. Pluto moves into Aquarius next Tuesday. It's been dorking around, fussing around, going back and forth over this cusp, 5 times. I've talked about it over and over and over again, okay? But now we are we're going to be officially, I think, in the age of Aquarius here, as Pluto, the force of evolution enters Aquarius. Yeah, next Tuesday. And of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. What else? I mean, I could talk forever today. We got the moon, after Saturday, it's in, Gemini, Saturday, Sunday, opposes Venus, okay, on Monday, then it trines Saturn and goes into Cancer. Yeah, so by Monday, the moon is in Cancer. And that full moon, we have this peak of energy. Moon conjunct Uranus opposite the sun this weekend. Woo! It's going to start to, ease up next week. But let me look at the camera and talk to you. All right, everybody. Well, we may have to change it from the Pele Report to the Fireside Chat because I'm back in California for a couple months here, man. And it's cold out there. And it rains. I'm not used to this kind of weather, man. Oh, my word. Everything is changing. Nothing stays the same. Oh, por Dios. Anyway. What do I want to do? We want to talk about, sun's in Scorpio for, a month every year. It is a time of, the leaves turning brown and falling, a time of death, of letting go, of sometimes not wanting to let go and fighting to holding on to attachments, maybe too long, and then they're yanked away from us. Holding on to relationships, or the other thing is confrontational power struggles. Who's on top? Who's in charge? Who's got more? Domination, leads to victimization, leads to rescuer stuff. I mean, this is just it's this real time of transformation, and so that the full moon coming around to Taurus, and of course the mantra this week has a little bit of a reflection of that. But Taurus is, I work on myself. I make my own money. I do my own thing. I am self-sufficient. I am not needy or greedy or jealous or possessive, or it's like I'm okay. I like to think of Buddha when I think of Taurus, or sitting bull, just like boom, the Buddha sitting in meditation. Doesn't need anything, right? So this is a very good time to meditate and just breathe and maybe fast. Let go of habits, let go of routines, let go of all this same old, these things that we think we need. And it's amazing how little we really do need. Taurus is simplicity. So, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this moon moving through here, is really helping us, and it's enlightening us. Right? This is Uranus, the planet of enlightenment, of genius, of liberation. And, Uranus wants to liberate us. So it's spending 7 years in Taurus, liberating us from our bank accounts. I mean, wherever Uranus is, Uranus always wants to raise the bar. Right? So it's improve. Taurus is the supply chain. Okay, our food, our diets, well, Uranus is cryptocurrency, right? I mean, at this full moon, this is a time. Whoa, record highs for Bitcoin. And I think they're gonna keep on going up here through the full moon. Maybe after the full moon, they may do a correction, but I'm not really doing financial astrology here with the Pele report. This is astrology for the soul. Of course, little money buys food and food helps feed the soul. We do have physical bodies. Taurus is an earth physical body sign. It has to do with possessions. It has to do with money. Okay, it has to do with touch, sensation, sensuous sexuality. So, this can be a time where, yes, you suddenly do have cravings, or you suddenly do have desires and needs that you really maybe were controlling, subverting, throwing down into the shadow realm, because the sun in Scorpio wants to, open the lid on Jack in the Box. Okay, let the cat out of the bag, open the trap door to the cellar, let the shadow out. I swear, Halloween is not over. It's like the ghosts and the goblins. I mean, I'm feeling them big time, right? All over the place. So this is a very intense time. This is an intense axis, and it has to do with my money and shared money, my self-sufficiency, my codependency. Okay, is it okay to need? Is it okay to want? Is it okay to possess? Where's my boundaries in terms of how much I give, and am I able to receive? The moon is this feminine sign moving through. She's exalted in Taurus. So this is a time to, open ourselves up to receiving. And we can only do that through healing and through feeling in tune with ourselves, valuing ourselves. So this is values, and we may be changing our values, even with this election. Okay, it's like, okay, well, has the United States changed its values? We got a different set of values coming in, to the White House. So there's, and this is Scorpio, Taurus, Venus. And let's look at that Venus in conjunct Mars. Okay, that is a breakaway, end of project or end of relationship or end of situation at work that has to do, and also a change in health. Okay, so Venus is breaking away from Mars. Okay, it's this feminine energy, that is about receptivity, feelings, emotions. I have to slow down just to talk about feelings and emotions. Now, Uranus is high-speed internet. It's high-speed spaceships. It is, super, the nervous system. The moon coming around to Uranus is a little nerve-wracking. Sun opposite Uranus, definitely nerve-wracking. Time to really cut down on stimulants, at this particular time. And so that you can feel more deeply into your truth and what is truly valuable for you and what are your true priorities. And then, okay, like really, really go for it. So, with this, going on, we have in the background Saturn. Saturn at that same 13th degree, okay, of Pisces from October 29th to December 4th. Yeah. So the whole month of November and a little more, Saturn is sitting right at this degree. And I think it's very powerful. That's why I want to read it to you. Yeah. An ancient sword used in many battles is displayed in a museum. The keynote is through the effectual use of will, a consecrated person can become a symbol of courage for all those who follow in their footsteps. Mars in Leo, will. Okay, Sun in Scorpio has to do with will. Now we've got Saturn here stationing in Pisces, having to do with the will and power. That's what the mantra is about. Willpower is the ultimate spiritual weapon. And its undeviating use is the certification of individual worth. I mean, you can just meditate on that for a couple of months. Undeviating use of willpower, focused, determines how much we're worth. Wherever found, this symbol emphasizes the imperative need to make use of the will in meeting the basic challenges of the inner life as well as outer adversaries. So, should I read more? I don't know. In this symbol, we see singled out and strongly emphasized the one power in us which is an assurance of victory in the contests generated by social or occult processes, to which we have become an active part. The individual must use that willpower, yet it is not really our own once we operate at a spiritual level. It is God's will operating through our mind, which focuses its thrusts. It is, occultly speaking, the power of the brotherhood, the energy of the whole, operating through the one-pointed individual who has made this whole aware of the need for its use in a particular situation. You can see where I got the mantra. And this is Venus in Capricorn. This is just like really, like everything is so pointing, okay, to this time period, okay, as stay the course. Like really get in there, go for it. Use your willpower, self-discipline, self-control, stay focused. And if it is with an adversary and you're in confrontation, keep your focus on that confrontation. If it's, getting rid of some guilt or shame or wound or, pain within yourself, stay focused on it, right? And with undeviating willpower, we can make it through this time period. Now, the other aspect, obviously that brings up is, what if we don't? Or why do we need to? Could we just go to Hawaii on vacation or what? And it's like, no, so sorry. But this is a time to get it together and get it done and make it happen and do your inner work and and it may not be easy. Like I say, there's going to be, you gotta move, you've got to change, you've got to shift. And this can be a shift in priorities, a shift in relationships, a shift in your work where you start making money someplace else than where you used to, where you upgrade, and it's because you're upgrading. It's like I want to fix up my house. I got to spend some more money. I want to fix up my car. I got to spend some more money. Yeah, I'm tired of these old clothes. I want to upgrade my wardrobe. I got to spend some money. Well, if I want to spend some money, I got to make some money. So this is the money axis, right? Money is power. Okay, there's all kinds of power. I've talked about it a million times: sexual, emotional, intellectual, financial, you name it. But look at all these different power trips, power games. And they're not always games. Sometimes it's life and death. Okay, and Taurus is about survival. And in the old days, it would be survival of the fittest. But this is like, it's boom. Yeah, make things happen. Now, let's talk about this also. What's going on here is Mercury opposite Jupiter, okay? And there's 3 passes. This is the first of 3 passes. I wrote it down somewhere, okay? On the 22nd, it comes back in retrograde and opposes Jupiter again, I'm pretty sure. And then back November 3rd. Oh shit, I don't know, man. Basically, it's in Sagittarius from November 3rd to January 8th. So, we've got more than 2 months of Mercury in Sag. Now, this is what the trip is, right? Mercury in Sag opposite Jupiter in Gemini. Well, Mercury rules Gemini and Jupiter rules Sag. These guys are flipped. And what is this? The lower brain, the lower mind and the higher mind. The left brain and the right brain. The linear logical Mercury in the sign of intuition. And Jupiter, the sign of intuition, down here, in the 3D, be here now, 3rd house Gemini. So what is the story there? The opposition brings in, that there can be what? Too much. And what can there be too much of? I think that it is, and this is the danger with Jupiter and Sagittarius in general, it's stopping the search, the quest, the expansion of consciousness, thinking that you already have the truth, that you already have expanded consciousness, that you know it all. So when Jupiter is down here in Gemini, we could be acting off of old beliefs that we think are still valid or still good or still going to work. We can be teaching old books and teaching old stuff, just like Mercury up there in Sagittarius is saying, no, man, I got to read some new books. I got to download some new videos. I got this podcast and, I need to continually. There is no end to the expansion of consciousness. Okay, I need to, continually bring foreign ideas, foreign thoughts, new philosophies, new beliefs, new people into my life and continue opening farther and farther, and don't come into a place of like, I think I know it all or I have it all and I'm just going to write it, speak it, teach it, blah, 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 and everybody should listen to me. So this is again, to me, pointing to the need for inner work. This full moon in Taurus is inner work. Okay, Mars in Leo, inner work. Saturn, so many things here. Okay, and now Jupiter, in Gemini is also, in a way, saying, the good fortune is that if you are studying, learning, and continuing to expand, you can be teaching and bringing new ideas. So the positive side of this Mercury opposite Jupiter is that, this can be a really good time for expanding your audience, publishing your book, traveling abroad and learning new things, or teaching new things. So I want to, of course, I usually emphasize, the positive manifestation, of these aspects. I try to focus on that positive side, but I do not want to dismiss the difficulties, okay, or just like write off. If you are in pain or you are suffering or you are having a hard time, you are not alone. Yeah. I mean, we are in this together. And, this is just the type of thing where I'm saying, in these times of emergencies or in times of change, what do you have to do? I hear it all the time. If the cabin runs out of air, an air mask will drop down in front of you, and you must, use it on yourself first. And then you help, the person in the seat next to you, your kid or your spouse or your beloved or whatever. Yeah. So this is Taurus. We got to get our own act together before we can really meet another in a whole relationship. Yes, that is balanced, that is integrated. We got to carry our own weight. We've got to be living our own purpose in alignment with our own truth. And then, yeah, baby, the sky is the freaking limit. That was last week's song. But I want to read to you then the degree for the full moon, right? Hot diggity dogs. It is a vast public park. The cultivation of natural energies for collective use and recreation. At this final stage of the sequence of symbols, focusing on emotional, cultural values, we witness the positive and impressive results of our collective endeavor to live in peace, to enjoy moments of relaxation. The public park is designed and kept for the enjoyment of all the people of the city. The keynote here is collective enjoyment. Yeah. We have to really kind of understand that, the sun moving through Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, these are, the socialization of consciousness. It is the socialization of our individual consciousness discovered in Cancer and Leo, worked on and perfected through Virgo, only to be given to the social collective through Libra, Scorpio, and Sag. So we are, we are social beings, right? And the work that we do on ourselves is really our gift, okay, to the world. What I say? Yeah. The T-shirt that I talked to some moms about, is like the best mom is a happy mom, when we are fulfilled, when we are in our groove, when we are dancing, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Okay, when you are dancing, when you are healing, when you are, empowering yourself, you're an example. You are a model. You are teaching without saying a word, without writing a book, without doing YouTube videos. You are a walking example of empowerment, of joy, of health. So it's like, when we do it, when we are it. I remember Yogi Bhajan says, you can heal the checkout, the checkout person, at the grocery store without saying a word. With your aura, your electromagnetic field, when we are beaming, shining brightly, this affects Okay, the physical, etheric, astral, egoic, spirit, realms, worlds, bodies, however you want to look at it. So, don't, it's like, and Mars and Leo, a key word for Leo is selfish. So, and sometimes Taurus and Aries, this, oh, don't be selfish, don't be selfish. North Node is in Aries. Chiron is in Aries. Moon Uranus conjunct in Taurus. Mars and Leo. I have to say, this is a time, if there ever was a time, to be a little selfish. Yeah? And just know that as you gather up your squirrel, your squirrel gathering nuts, then you're going to have some nuts to share. If you don't gather up your nuts, you ain't got no nuts to share. Thanksgiving is coming over here, right? And then Christmas is coming. There's all these meals and all this food, and it's the holidays are coming upon us, and yes, it is so it's like save, gather, focus, discipline, get your ducks lined up in a row so that you can really enjoy, and then you got something to give and you can be generous. How can generous people be generous? Okay? It's because they've got something to give because they developed skills, talents, capacities. It's like, yeah. So, if you want to be generous, well, be generous to yourself. Give yourself the time. Set aside that money if you want to take a class or a course or go on a retreat. Oh my God, that reminds me. I'm going on a retreat to the Amazon and talk about Mercury and Sag. This is a perfect time. Okay, we're going to be expanding our consciousness into other cultural realms, other forms of medicine. We're going to be doing a surrendering to love with a Saturn-Neptune North Node conjunction in January for a week. Come on down. At the end of today's report, I'm gonna put some pictures down there and maybe say some more about it. But this is going to be so beautiful and so fantastic. No more of these virtual relationships. It's touch, Taurus, sensation, being in the same room, the same space, being able to see, touch, feel, talk to, and listen to another person in real time. This is where it really evolves and things really happen. But for now, I'm going to say what? This week's mantra. This week's mantra is that I do not exist alone, but also have a social role. So when I work to empower myself, I empower and evolve the whole. Yeah. What more? I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. We are not alone. And whether we're processing our relationships, doing our shadow work with our deepest intimate beloveds, okay, that's also working on yourself. You can work on yourself through partnership, through relationship, through community. I mean, I just came from a community, and they hold council, okay, and everybody's stuff comes up. Your shadow comes up. You got 25 shadows with 25 people in the circle. So we really work on. And we can heal ourselves by, realizing what is illusions, what are projections, what is my own, what do I really value, what do I really believe, I mean, this is all, we are social creatures. We are social beings. Absolutely beautiful. This week's song is All the Love in the World. This is like my favorite. I could listen to this song a million times. What are some of the lines? Yeah. Because you don't know which way to steer. Please remember that you're not alone. We're all on this journey home. All of us, every one that you know, we're sending you all the love in the world. Absolutely. We're one in this. We're together in this. And we are individuals. This is the paradox, right? We have to do our individual work, and we are all one. So let's do both. And you can do both simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? Oh, all about mindfulness. Jupiter in Gemini opposite, Mercury in Sagittarius is all about mindfulness. Mindfulness. One last time, okay? I do not exist alone, but also have a social role. So when I work to empower myself, I empower and evolve the whole. May you evolve and empower yourself and the whole. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.